Hello everyone and welcome into the weekend. So this will be your reading for Saturday, March 30th and Sunday, March 31st. So we'll take a look at the energy for the collective and then go sign grouping by sign grouping and also pull a few individual cards for each zodiac sign within that sign grouping. So I hope everybody's weekend is off to a wonderful start so far. And for those of you who are celebrating Easter this weekend, I hope you have a peaceful and joyful time with family and friends this weekend. So some of you may be noticing heavier energy starting to come in. Mercury retrograde starts on Monday. So we are in the shadow period right now. So expect some disruptions coming up soon. And remember, anytime when things are in retrograde, it's really pointing you to look within and see what unresolved things do you have that need to be addressed or let go of, or just kind of maybe given a closer eye during retrograde period. So, all right, let's jump in and take a look at the energy for the collective in general. Two of Wands in reverse, Five of Cups in reverse, and the Magician. All right, so with our Two of Wands in reverse energy, this is like you're avoiding change, and there's this sense of indecision and like kind of like this lack of planning, like you don't really know what you want to do, so you're kind of really not doing anything. Then with our Five of Cups in reverse energy, this is about like a sense of moving on and turning a corner, and the Magician is that transformational energy. So it's like the Magician kind of sits in between these two, like, you know, the indecision, failure to make any sort of plans, lack of progress, things like that. And then you bring this Magician energy into the equation, and then you get to a sense of moving on. So we'll take a look kind of sign grouping by sign grouping as to what specifically that means. Is this a situation where you are affirmatively embracing that Magician energy and intentionally transforming, intentionally moving on, or is it more of a I don't know, and you just kind of throw your hands up and give up, and that's your sense of moving on? So we'll dig deeper into each of the sign groupings to see what exactly that looks like. So before we jump into that, a couple of things. There will be the readings for the first half of April. They're coming up soon, so make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when those videos are posting. I did post a message from your person video and the twin flame videos. Those are posted in the last couple of days, so make sure you check those out. And as always, as we jump into this, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. So if this doesn't fit your scenario, don't try to force this narrative onto your situation, but just take whatever resonates with you. So alrighty, let's jump in. For today, we will start with our fire signs. That's going to be our Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and let's see what messages are coming through for you for this weekend. The Hierophant. So this is that kind of structured, traditional, inside of the box thinking. So that energy is out there pushing on you. So this energy could be coming from other people, whether that's family members, especially if you do celebrate in some way this weekend. You could be getting a lot of pressure to conform to whatever the family thinks you should be doing, thinks you should be behaving. But, you know, there's also that sense of needing to find a mentor or a guru. So that's kind of like the two different parts of the Hierophant. So the one is that traditional inside of the box thinking. The other energy or pressure there is really learning, like digging deeper and learning. But with this energy of kind of this indecision and avoiding making a change, it's almost like you're really feeling that pressure from people around you to stay inside of that box, to, you know, to do what they think you should be doing. So I'll pull, and this will be for all of the fire signs. I'll pull a couple more cards, and then we'll do the oracle cards. We also have Wheel of Fortune, so that's destined and fated, and then your Three of Wands in reverse. So Three of Wands in reverse is like you're clinging to the past, and there's a lot of obstacles and frustrations and a lot of stagnant energy there. But with this Wheel of Fortune card, it's like there's this destined and fated timing to things. So this sense of moving on is destined and fated. So, you know, you're coming up against that pressure as well. Let's take a look and see what other messages want to come through. Eternal dance, movement, wheel of life, path of least resistance. So this wheel of life, that's kind of like this Wheel of Fortune card. So when it's talking about path of least resistance, that doesn't necessarily mean, okay, well, since my family is pressuring me to stay in this situation, I guess I'm going to stay in it so that I don't have to deal with their resistance. So the path of least resistance is talking about internally for you. Resistance to change will manifest itself as discomfort. It'll manifest itself in some of those lower vibration energies. So it'll manifest itself as feelings of guilt or shame or fear or apathy or just kind of like disinterest, like you're just unhappy. So the path of least resistance, like your natural state, is to be a being of love and happiness. And so any path that you're choosing that is keeping you away from that, that is a path of resistance. So even though it might seem counterintuitive, like, oh, the path of least resistance is just to stay where I am, exactly where I am, because that's what my family wants me to do, that's going to create internal turmoil within you if you're truly looking at growth from a soul perspective, because you can feel that disconnect between what you want and what you're experiencing. Freya, bold, unleash your adventurous side, take risks and be daring. So this is that push, you know, kind of like I said, it's that Wheel of Fortune energy. There's a destined and fated movement here. Because remember, when you think about your life lessons, why are you here? You're not here to just kind of be meh for 60 years on this planet. You know, you're here to spread love. You're here to spread light and, you know, be bold, take those risks. So finding the path, you are the driver and the navigator. So this is what we're talking about, like the path of least resistance. Where is it that you are coming up against resistance in the form of, I'll call it unhappiness, the feeling of being kind of locked out of your blessings, or that feeling of something's just not right. I wish something was different in my life. Like, what paths lead you to that feeling of wholeness, and what paths lead you down more of this looping energy? All right, so fire signs, let's start with Aries. We have our Four of Swords in reverse, we have King of Pentacles, and we have Ace of Pentacles. So our King of Pentacles is this kind of like stable energy, you know, you're reliable, so that's kind of that consistent type of energy. Your Ace of Pentacles is going to be like a prosperity, it's going to be new starts. And then you have your Four of Swords in reverse, and your Four of Swords in reverse is going to be this sense of exhaustion and breakdown and stress. So this was my new doggy deck, so there you go. So you have a lot of that feeling of that stress and this breakdown. It's related here. It's this this Two of Wands in reverse. This avoiding change is causing you stress and breakdown. So this new start, and here, I'll pull a timing card for this. When does this new start look like it's going to be coming through for you? Because that new start is that Wheel of Fortune, destined and fated. Once you let go of the past. So you are destined and fated to move into some of this happier, higher level energy. Like you're destined and fated to do that, but it's once you let go of the past. And when we talk about letting go of the past, this is that Hierophant energy. This is that traditional inside of the box thinking that like family, friends, whatever is pressuring you to stay in some traditional situation that you are not happy in. So this is the energy that's pushing up against our Aries. So let me put back. Okay, so this is the fire signs. All right, now let's go to Leo. See what wants to come through today for Leo for this weekend. All right, for Leo, put these up here so I don't get them mixed up. We have Judgment, we have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Devil in reverse. So for Leo, there is definitely this energy of, this magician is coming in. This is transforming this devil energy, and it's a matter of breaking free from that devil energy. So with this Five of Cups, where it's that energy of like moving on and turning a corner, that's what this devil in reverse energy is. You're breaking free from whatever has been keeping you looping through these cycles. So from a judgment standpoint, like the Judgment card is about, have you learned the lesson that you're supposed to learn? Have you incorporated that into your behavior, into your understanding of your situation, into your life? So it's not enough to just say, oh, this is what the lesson is. You have to do something with it. And so that's what, for the Judgment card, it looks like for Leo, there is favorable judgment coming through from the divine. You are transforming this. You are breaking free from some of this energy. And the Knight of Wands, this is that like courageous energy, joyful, like adventurous, like confident energy, like, yes, I can do it. I can break free. So that is, let's take a look maybe at a timing card for Leo. When are you breaking free from some of this energy? Because this is that destined and fated. It says, once you forgive yourself. So there's likely some amount of guilt, shame, expectation about whatever your current situation is that you're looking at breaking free from. Maybe it's a long-term job that everybody in the family has this job, or maybe it's a long-term relationship. And once you can break free from the guilt and shame and find your own path, like what suits you, be bold. And actually this Freya card, this is like that Knight of Wands energy. Be bold and break free from what is no longer serving you. Okay, so Sagittarius. Let's see what message we have for Sagittarius. The Lovers in reverse, Six of Wands in reverse, and Five of Wands. So it looks like there's a little bit, I guess, of maybe struggle for Sagittarius. So the Lovers in reverse, this is about having a sense of disconnect or disharmony within relationships. This is also about having a decision to make. So the Lovers card is Gemini. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, but it's about communication. It is about having a decision. So sometimes this is that sense of kind of like, again, avoiding making a decision. So Two of Wands in reverse is kind of like the Lovers in reverse, like you're avoiding making a decision about something. With our Five of Wands, there's some conflict and kind of some anger or rivalry, and there's also some disappointment with your Six of Wands in reverse. So that's the energy that's pushing down on you. But the flip side of that is when you look at this with this Wheel of Fortune card, this is destined and fated. Like you have to get pushed to a point where you're saying enough is enough on whatever structure you're in that you're not happy with. So for you, the Hierophant could be that you need to seek out a mentor or a teacher or a guru that's going to help you navigate that, help you look at it a little bit differently, and help you find your path that you need to be on. So let's pull a card here in terms of when that energy subsides, because with Sagittarius, it's kind of more stuck at this decision point, even though this energy here of the Magician and transforming the situation is out there. So let's see, when does that kind of transformation piece happen here? After the Tower. So something big is going to come in and shake things up, and then you'll start to see that transformation. So don't fear the Tower. A lot of times there's fear that comes with the Tower of, oh my gosh, but that's helping to clear the way for whatever the new part is that's coming in. So it doesn't necessarily mean that person is going away, but whatever that structure is that's keeping you in that feeling of, it's not quite where I want it to be, that's what has to go away. So that was for our fire signs. Now let's take a look at our earth signs. So earth signs is going to be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And let's see what messages want to come through for you for this weekend. The moon. So the moon is about lies and like what's happening by the by the dark of night that you're unaware of. It's kind of like that trickery, illusions. So it can also be the lies that you're telling yourself. Are you telling yourself something that's really not helping you, that's keeping you stuck in your cycles? So let's see what further clarification from this deck we have. Ace of Wands in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, Four of Wands in reverse. And this has come out a few times, I feel like, for earth signs, having the moon and having the Four of Wands in reverse. And so that's kind of like there's this illusion, there's this story that you keep telling yourself that everything is, that everything will just be fine if we keep doing this. But the Four of Wands in reverse is about like domestic instability. It's about having things not feeling right within your home. Your Ace of Wands in reverse is there's these lost chances, these broken promises, and your Queen of Swords in reverse. So Queen of Swords is about, cutting away all of the BS, but the Queen of Swords in reverse is really that bitter energy. So it's like you're keeping yourself stuck in these looping cycles that are driving you to being, I guess, progressively more bitter or harsh, I guess. And almost like there's an energy of cruelty to it. Like you might be saying it with a smile on your face, but I mean, like, look at this card. I'll do it this way. She is literally chopping down, she's doing it with a smile, the domestic little housewife. She's doing it with a smile, but she's chopping down her husband. Like he's in the flower and she's like, and she cuts him down. So that's, that is not that warm and fuzzy good energy. So when you put the two of these together, well, I guess this one was in reverse. It's like, yes, I'm going to chop you down. I'm going to continue to make our house, this miserable place. She's doing it with a lie on her face, but that's kind of that energy there. And it's just going to kind of keep feeding on itself. So let's see what other oracle cards we have coming through. The Temptress, seduction, deceit, and a broken promise. So it could be that some of you are dealing with situations like where there's third party energy. Some of it can also be this Temptress. What are you being tempted by? It's not necessarily a person. Sometimes it's, one party is a workaholic and that's what they're singularly focused on. Or are you singularly focused on appearances of, well, what are other people going to say? Like, as long as when we step out, we have a smile on our face and, we hold hands when we walk out, then behind closed doors, we're screaming at each other. We're, miserable. It's that sort of thing. So what is tempting you? Then we have Guinevere, true love. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. So this is something, you may have somebody else that's coming in, but if you're in this situation, which, it definitely comes across that this is a situation where you've been feeling stuck for a while at home in an unhappy scenario, but you keep telling yourself the, whatever lies of, oh, this is going to get better. Oh, I can do this just a little longer. Oh, this really isn't that bad. But I think for some of you, if you have a new romantic interest that's coming in, I think that's going to kind of light that within you of saying, well, wait a second. Is this really what I want? And so that could also be the Temptress that's coming in, that's saying, hey, look over here. This one we have heart of the matter, align life's pathways through the heart. And so some of that, I think if you do have a new person coming in, and I'm not saying this in a scandalous way, but that could be kind of lighting that light for you that says, wait a second, what's going on over here is not how it's supposed to be. So, don't keep telling yourself that's what life is like and what it's supposed to be. Really align yourself with your heart and with your path. So now we'll look individually, and let's start with Taurus. and see what messages want to come through for Taurus for this weekend. The Magician in reverse, the Empress in reverse, and the High Priestess in reverse. So the Magician in reverse, this is kind of like that sense of your, like, feeling like your talents are being wasted, like, you know, maybe some manipulation in there as well. But, you know, if you have this wonderful ability to transform situations, you feel like you're kind of being overlooked, like you're being taken for granted. And then with the Empress in reverse and the High Priestess in reverse, this is a lot of like really rough, I'll call it dark feminine energies, because in the upright, the High Priestess and the Empress, like those are divine feminine. That's divine feminine energy. It's that loving, nurturing, flowing intuition, you know, like connected to your higher self, to your, you know, higher consciousness, inner wisdom. It's all of that, like the wonderful side of the divine feminine. This is like the dark side of the divine feminine. So this is going to be that more like manipulative type of energy, and just kind of, I don't know, going with the Moon card, and like, what are some of the lies you're telling yourself? What are some of the deceits that you're telling yourself? I think there's definitely some darker pulls for you going on this weekend. So, you know, be mindful of that. Don't let yourself slip into, you know, more of that harsher energy of, you know, lies and deceit. I'm sorry about that. So, so that was for our Taurus. So like I said, and this also does have elements too of kind of feeling like there's a sense of like codependency, like, you know, and I would say that goes with this of you're feeling stuck and like you don't want to make a decision, but if something better comes along, then, you know, okay, well, now I'm willing to jump ship from here to here because I have a landing place. All right, let's take a look at Virgo. What specific messages want to come through for Virgo? King of Cups in reverse, 8 of Swords, and 10 of Wands. It's funny, in this dog deck, I've only done a few readings with it, and 8 of Swords and 10 of Wands have come up. This is, I think, the third reading out of 4 that I've done where these have come up. And it's not like I pull, you know, half of the deck's worth of cards, so it's only a few cards. But so for Virgo, there's this sense of just feeling overburdened, like, you know, your 10 of Wands, that's that you're just exhausted. You feel like you're just carrying all of these wands and they're just weighing down on you, but you're also feeling trapped. And so that's kind of this sense of, you know, with your 2 of Wands in reverse, of avoiding change. And like, you don't want to, you know, the failure to plan aspect of the avoiding change is kind of like, I don't want to have to think about the future, so I'm just not going to, and I'm going to live, you know, completely in this present moment, because I don't want to have to think about the future, because what if this, what if that? Like, you're too burned out right now. Your King of Cups in reverse energy is a little bit of the sense of being like, feeling like you're being manipulated and you're just stressed and worried. So here's your King of Cups in reverse card. So that's kind of what's going on for Virgo. And, you know, there could be something coming that's going to help push you out of that. But as of right now, you're just feeling very overburdened. So let's see when some of this magician and transformation type of energy is coming in for you. Within 3 to 6 months. So some of this transformation, it's not that, hey, this is all going to happen this weekend, I'm turning this corner and moving on. So it's going to be a little bit further out for you. And let's pull one more card and see if there's any other advice for how to get out from underneath this heavy energy where you feel like you're trapped. So let's see. Ending a trauma. Transform memories and symptoms. So if this is that you feel like you're just stuck in this situation, it could be that there are certain traumas that just keep replaying over and over, and maybe part of this failure to plan could be that, hey, whenever you've planned for something in the past, you've gotten burned and, you just don't really want to plan anymore. But you have to be able to break those cycles and identify what led to that trauma before and what can you do differently. How are you different now to avoid having that be the case again this go around? So Capricorn, let's see what we've got. We've got Strength in reverse. We have got our 10 of Swords, and we've got our 7 of Cups in reverse. So the Strength in reverse card, it's that feeling of kind of like weakness, like you just don't have the strength. You're avoiding making this change because you just don't have the strength to do it. Like you've been telling yourself so many of these lies, or it could be somebody else around you is lying to you, and it's worn you down. With your 10 of Swords energy, this is that feeling of being betrayed and just being totally exhausted and defeated and just like, I don't have anything left to give. Your 7 of Cups in reverse energy is like there's too many options and you're just kind of confused. And so, you can see with the dog looking at all these different cups. So, some of the cups have another dog in it. Some of them have a snake in it. Some of them have, I guess it's like toys or food, so there's like all these different options and it's just overwhelming because maybe behind some of those options have been lies in the past. So instead you have fallen into kind of this bitter energy. So let's take a look. Let's pull one card. What is the advice for how to get out of that for our Capricorns? The message. Positive news, positive outcome. So listen to what the message is that's trying to come through. A lot of this is going to be, do you meditate? Do you take that time for reflection to see what are your cycles? What are your patterns and behaviors? What's your lesson to learn? And then from a timing standpoint, when does it look like you turn the corner on this exhaustion? And it says, once you fully surrender to the divine. So once you stop trying to control it yourself, you're going to be able to move past that. But that was our message for our earth signs. Now let's look at our water signs. So that's going to be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What message is coming through for you for this weekend? The Hierophant. So this came through for our fire signs as well. So if you're connected to a fire sign, that could be something to consider. You might want to take a look at that portion of today's video as well. So especially since the Hierophant is about traditional structures, if you are married to somebody who is a fire sign, this message is likely for you. That sense of like your 2 of Wands in reverse, and because your 2 of Wands in reverse was kind of like failure to plan, and like you're avoiding making a change because you're stuck in this structure. So especially if you do celebrate Easter, if you get together as a family, you could be feeling that even more this weekend. If there's like familial expectations of you staying in a certain marriage, staying in a certain career, things like that, you could be feeling that even more. But you do have this energy, the star energy, which is that hope and that optimism of the blessings that want to come in. You also have your 4 of Swords and your 7 of Pentacles. So there is growth that's coming, like you're reaping the benefits of this hard work that you're doing. And then with your 4 of Swords, this is like this sense of deep thought and rest and recuperation. So, she's got her mask on and she's taking care of herself. So it's kind of that air of self-love. And once you start to do that, you're able to look at moving things forward. So for our water signs, this is good energy. So it seemed like for the earth signs, they were stuck somewhere between here and here. It looks like for our water signs, you're more on this side, like you're working on the transformation part to be able to bring in that change, to be able to move on from this tough part. So some of the, like I said, some of the moving on is taking care of yourself, having that hope and optimism for the future. It could also be that you have found a guru, a mentor, a guide, a teacher who's helping you to connect with yourself differently and learn about what is it that is important to you, what is it that you need, how do you move on from a tough situation. So you're not wallowing in this, you are affirmatively stepping forward into this, if that makes sense. Your Gaia card was intuitive communication, silent whispers of the heart. So for you, as you look at trying to move into some of your gifts, there is a sense of, here, if I can pull these back, you can see these two a little. There is a sense of connecting with your higher self and listening to that intuition. What is God, Spirit, the divine calling you to do? What are you being drawn towards doing? And it's certainly not you being called to still be stuck in looping. And so it seems like you are picking up on that. Then we have Irene, peace. There's no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. So this is kind of that sense of surrendering to the divine and knowing that there is a reason for this. There is a path forward, and you're sitting in that energy of hope and taking care of yourself. And we have imagination, draw from the well of your own capabilities. So this is really like, how do you create this sense of hope for the future and optimism? And part of it is draw from your capabilities. Like, don't focus on, oh, well, I'm not any good at this. Like, think about what is it that you are good at? What lights you up? What makes you feel alive and like you're on the right path, and lean into that. All right, so water signs. Let's start with Cancer. We have the Chariot, so some good fast-moving energy, Page of Pentacles, and we have Queen of Cups. So you have this fast-moving energy of overcoming these obstacles, and then your Page of Pentacles is going to be this loyal, consistent energy. So it's like you've, I guess, double down maybe on taking care of yourself, on having this reflection, working on your healing, working on your self-love. And that's giving you this sense of like hope and optimism. And it's also bringing in these blessings for you. And it looks like they're being brought in quickly. So I like to, since this is a new deck, I like to show you the cards up close there. And then you're also bringing that in. You're bringing kindness and compassion into the situation. So your transformation has been happening because of the fact that you're leading with love. So you're leading not only yourself in like self-love, but if there's an outside situation that's happening, you are using love. You're not changing situations in a mean, harsh way. You're changing it from a position of love and patience and peace. So that is for Cancer. Let's take a look at Scorpio. What messages are coming through for Scorpio for today? Or for this weekend, I mean. We have our Knight of Cups in reverse. We have our Page of Swords. And we have Death in reverse. So with our Knight of Cups in reverse energy, this is like some bad mood and disappointments. I'll just put all these up here so you can see all of them at once. Then with your Page of Swords energy, there's like some planning and curiosity that's happening. So you're kind of balancing that out. Like you have some bad moods and some disappointments, but you're trying to plan for a better future. So still a little bit of that sense of like indecision. You don't really know what to do, but you're trying to plan for it because it's putting you in a bad mood to be sitting in this Two of Wands in reverse. So it's putting you in a bad mood, but you're planning your way out of it. And then you have Death in reverse. So there's a little bit of this sense of like clinging to the past. So even if like you're avoiding these positive changes that want to come in. So there is this moving on that wants to come in, and you're avoiding it a little bit because you're, clinging to the past, but it's causing you just to kind of be more disappointed. So I would say, even though overall energetically for water signs, there's this push, this lighter push into this more like this higher timeline. For Scorpio, there's still more energetic forces that are pulling you down, that is pulling you closer to this like indecision where you're avoiding making change. So let's pull a card to see what advice for Scorpio to help move you out of that. And that's going to be Dawn of Love. Love is rising on the horizon of your life. So letting love lead the way. And let's pull one card to see timing wise when it looks like you might be turning the corner on that heavier energy. Oh, it says more than a year out. So this is a big transformational change. So it could be a while before you fully get out of some of this rough energy. But, you know, again, anytime in tarot, if there's something that you don't like that's on the horizons, what is it that you can do now that's going to change the energy? Because when we do these reads, it's like, this is based on the energy right now. So to me, when it says more than a year out, this is signifying that for Scorpio, there is a sense of despair and hopelessness. Like, this is never going to change. This is never going to change. But for you, what's important is putting love into the situation and taking care of yourself. Because once you can take care of yourself and that sense of optimism rises, then you'll be able to change timelines. You'll be able to make different decisions and have things pan out differently. So that was for Scorpio. Let's take a look at Pisces and what wants to come through for Pisces. All right. We have our 7 of Pentacles, and we have 5 of Pentacles, and then we have the World. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. So that's the card for the World. Oh, that's such a cute little card. And then we have our 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. So 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. And, so our 5 of Pentacles card, oh, and look at that. They are out in the cold and they are sad. So the 7 of Pentacles, and that's come up twice. So for Pisces, there's definitely this energy of like rewards and reaping what you're sowing. So to some extent, because there's also this sadness, there's a little bit of, I guess I would say, a feel of, if you're reaping what you sow, what were you sowing that was leading to the reward being you feel left out in the cold, you feel sad? Because, I mean, the one dog is crying and the other one's consoling it in that 5 of Pentacles card. So that is kind of also, it's leading to this closing out of a certain cycle. So this, I would say, this part up here is related to this 2 of Wands in reverse energy, where you're avoiding making a change. And so in the past, you've been planting some sort of seeds that have been leading you to feeling left out in the cold. And that's what needs to change. And that's the part where the World comes in and is closing up that cycle. And once this cycle closes up, and you can help push that cycle to close, apply that magician energy, apply that sense of love and transformation into this situation to be able to move yourself into this higher timeline. So that's really the key, is acknowledging. So for Pisces, the key to that is acknowledging, what were you planting? Like, so that when you were reaping the benefits of it, it turned into a 5 of Pentacles. So it's really about identifying what that is so that you can move on and not perpetuate that cycle going forwards. Because once you can stop that cycle, then you're going to be into this higher timeline. So that was for our water signs. And now, this one flipped onto the floor. Now we are on to our air signs. Let's see what wants to come up for air signs for this weekend. And that's going to be for our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Fool. So this is that kind of fresh new beginnings, like new start, taking a leap of faith. And we'll pull a couple cards here. So this is that in between, how we had the 2 of Wands in reverse and then the 5 of Cups in reverse. All right, the Hanged Man in reverse, Queen of Cups, and the Fool in reverse. So actually that's kind of funny. So as we look individual sign by individual sign, there's It's kind of funny that we would get both of them. The Fool in the upright, the Fool in reverse. And then we also have, so our Queen of Cups energy is going to be this kindness, compassion, and caring. And then with our Hanged Man in reverse, this is a little bit of that sense of, like making a martyr of yourself. And, I must stay in this terrible situation. I simply cannot move on. It's almost that sort of energy. And that sense of, well, love is a struggle. Love is hard. Work is hard. I have to put in all of my dues. They're going to work me like a dog for the first 20 years of my career, but then things will open up. It's like that sort of energy. And with your Fool in reverse, this is about kind of clinging to the past and avoiding taking that leap of faith, like having there's a little bit of that sense of like you have these doubts and insecurities, like, can I really do this? So I think it's like there's both sets of those. So there's the energy of, I want to make a change, but then I don't know, I'm kind of a little scared to do that. So we'll have to look individual sign by individual sign. A jewel within a teardrop, appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection. So this is about finding that, whatever small amounts of beauty can be within any sort of situation. So it's also about being grateful, like showing gratitude to the universe for all of your lessons, not just being, let me pull that one over here, not just being grateful when things are going how you want them to. So the one that flew is Butterfly Maiden, transformation. You are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. So there's that one, and then I'll pull one as well since that jumped. Endings and beginnings, Kali. The old must be released so that the new can enter. And this is exactly the same as the transformation card, essentially, that something has to end so that something new can start. And that's that same energy of the Fool in reverse and the Fool upright. It's that kind of push-pull of something needs to end, like you're afraid to let something end, but there is a transformation, there is a new start that's wanting to come in for you, but you have to let whatever's on the way out actually be out. All right, as I'm taking over the whole front edge of the table here, live in the moment. What you are looking for is with you. So this is kind of that whole idea of don't chase outside happiness. If you're waiting or expecting that somebody outside of yourself is going to make you happy, that somebody, I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when we get a new house. I'll be happy when I find the right partner. I'll be happy when my existing partner steps up and does this, that, or the other. So you need to find that happiness within you, because then you can focus on what is it that you really want in life. If you're chasing that happiness from somebody else, then it puts you at the mercy of another person. So let's start with Gemini and what wants to come through for you for this weekend. We have our Nine of Wands in reverse, King of Wands, and Four of Wands in reverse. So all this Wands energy. So this is all that kind of like spirit. So here is your Nine of Wands in reverse. And this is kind of the sense of like exhaustion. Your Four of Wands in reverse with the doggies. And this is usually seen as a twin flame card in the upright or in the reverse, because it's the 11-11, because you have the wands on either side. And then you also have your King of Wands card, which is like this loyalty, like you're leading, you're meeting the challenges, but there's this sense of exhaustion because there's issues on the home front. There's this domestic instability, and it's just causing you burnout. And that is what your Two of Wands is about. And, your decision, you're failing to make plans, you're avoiding change. There's the sense of indecision, like, what do I do? What do I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? And that indecision has played out through the rest of the reading as well. There's this energy of wanting to take a like wanting this new fresh start to come through, but at the same time, you're clinging to the past. You are not letting go, like you're avoiding change and you're stuck in these loops of indecision and you're clinging to a past that has been exhausting you. And there's this transformation that wants to come in. So, you know, and I think it's so interesting how like this whole thing is you're stuck and then you take this magician energy and transform it to be able to move on from being stuck. But then with this, it's like, okay, we have this new beginning. Oh, but I'm getting, I don't know. I don't really want to learn from the past. And then you have these cards with this transformation. So, so that is the energy for Gemini. Let's pull a card here, a timing card in terms of when do you step into this magician energy and transform this and move from your place of indecision. This is about the transformation. Once the lesson has been learned. So there's something about whatever this cycle is, that there's a lesson for you to learn. If that lesson is standing up for yourself, using your voice, once you learn that lesson, you will move on from that energy and you will move into this new beginnings. You'll get the blessings of like this transformation, this new beginning for you. So that was for Gemini. Let's take a look at Libra. What is coming through for Libra? We have 8 of Cups in reverse. We have 8 of Wands. And we have Justice in reverse. So it's that sense of imbalance. So for Libra, and Libra is all about finding that balance, you're feeling very imbalanced right now. So there's this fast-moving energy of wanting to overcome obstacles, and the 8s are about obstacles. So it's like you want to overcome these obstacles, and then you have this 8 of Cups in reverse, which is avoiding change. So this 8 of Cups in reverse is like your 2 of Wands in reverse energy. So there's this sense of like you're avoiding making change, but you have this kind of pressure to move on, but you're not really leaning into it because things are imbalanced and you need to bring balance in order to be able to move on. So, you know, it's interesting because this has that same energy of that fast moving energy to move on and overcome these obstacles. And then it's countered by this, you know, failing to learn from the past, clinging to the past, and kind of not wanting to move on. So, you know, that's going with these two as well. So there's that sense of it. So let's take a look for Libra. When does Libra get to a point of making a decision here? It says longer than you think. So there's definitely some messages here. And with this, energetically, it's because it feels like you're not ready to make that decision yet. And so when it says longer than you think, whenever in tarot readings, if you don't like the timing of something, if you don't like the messages, it's because that's what's based on the current energy right now for you. If you don't like it, that can be what spurs you to change your beliefs, change your energy, change your interaction with a situation, which by default will change the way this all plays out. So if it's, you know, when it says longer than you think, it's that feeling is coming through because energetically you're not ready to make a decision. So when you're ready to make the decision to say, I'm done looping through these cycles, then that's that magician energy that's coming in. So there is a push from the universe that's saying, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Go, go, go. And the universe is trying to bring in something new and have that faith, have that trust, the confidence in the universe that something new will be coming in for you. You just have to have the strength to let go of what isn't serving you. Alrighty, last but not least, we have got our Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, what do we have for you for this weekend? All right. We have Ace of Wands in reverse. We have the Star in reverse. And we have the 7 of Swords in reverse. look at that doggy. Seven of Swords in reverse. So this is like this sense of confession or remorse from this dog. Doesn't he look remorseful? And there's also this sense of pessimism. So the Star in reverse, our Saint Bernard in reverse, is about pessimism. And you're discouraged, like you feel like you're being locked out of your blessings. Your Ace of Wands in reverse, and you can see the dog's paw there, is feeling like there's this kind of lack of creativity or all these lost chances. And so that's what's making you feel kind of pessimistic, like, oh, I missed the opportunity. I missed the boat on this. This came up and I didn't jump. So I guess I'm just stuck. So that's kind of like that looping cycle of like feeling regret or remorse that, oh, I really should have told this person how I really felt. And that's something, there's this great book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And I think I've mentioned this one before on the channel, but it's this woman who does hospice work. And so she goes in and does end of life care for people that, it's just a matter of time. And so she talked to them, and it's kind of like a memoir style, but it's pulling together what are the top 5 regrets that people have. And it's, I wish I'd lived a life true to myself rather than the life others expected of me. I wish I'd let myself be happier. I wish I wouldn't have worked so hard. I wish I'd had the courage to tell people how I really feel. And I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends, or better in touch with my friends. So that's kind of like that. I wish I had told people how I feel, and I wish I'd lived a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. And so that's kind of this sense of remorse, and feeling pessimistic, like, oh, I wish I would have done this. But the thing is, it's not too late to change that now. So rather than letting that sit there and fester and continue to build into this bigger remorse, oh, now I really wish I would have done that. You have the opportunity to change that. You may have missed the opportunity before, but it's not too late to try to do something about it now. So that's going to be what your magician energy is for you. It's that transformation of breaking out of that cycle of, oh, I really wish I would have. No, don't wish you would have. Do it now. Like okay, fine. Maybe you wish you would have done it earlier, but usually the things that people regret are the chances and the opportunities they didn't take, not the ones that they took and that didn't quite work out the way they had hoped. More of the regret is, I wish I would have tried. I wish I would have taken that opportunity. So this is, for Aquarius, this is that sense of, get out of that moment of, oh, I missed the boat on that. I wish I would have tried, and push yourself into the, okay, that ship has already sailed. What can I do now? And that will help bring some of that transformation. Like, you don't have to be a martyr of, oh, well, I just missed the chance. Oh, I missed it. Never again. That can never again come through. Like, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself and say, you know what? I lacked the courage then, but I have the courage now. And so be kind to yourself. Have that loving, nurturing sense for yourself to be able to say, yes, take that leap, do it. So whatever that is, like, be kind to yourself, use that loving energy with yourself to help spur some of this transformation, and let that be a lesson to you. Whatever opportunity you missed, let that be a lesson to you about, okay, that's how it feels when I don't take the opportunity. I want to avoid being in that situation again, so I'm taking the opportunity now. So that is your message for you, Aquarius. So I hope that you found the message for this weekend to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. And if this did resonate for you, hit that like button and hit subscribe and notification to be alerted when the new videos are posting to the channel. So I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.